Welcome, guys, to the TRM Show. My name is Mathew Park. I'm your host for today's show, guys. Looking forward to having a great episode today with someone that has been no stranger to TRM in the last 6 months, and she is a rock star, a powerhouse gym owner, boutique gym owner, actually, by the way, over in Texas, and has got her gym going the last couple of years, been in the fitness world for quite some time as well, too, and has done some magic building her business and her team, by the way, over in the Texas area. So I'm looking very forward to having this amazing human, the owner of Athena Fitness Gym. Her name is Blanca, the Powerhouse. How are you, Blanca, on this wonderful Friday?
I'm good. I'm super excited and fired up just to kind of take on this journey through, what Athena has come to be now. So that's awesome.
It's been kind of funny because when I first met you over in Dallas at the Hidden Gym there, over at that event, of course, you and your husband, we were chatting, of course, about your story and so forth. Actually, Leo referred you over, Leo.
Yes.
And hearing the story of your women's only gym and hearing where you guys were back then, building your of course, your gym where it is now, and then seeing how fast you've been applying things from systems to growth to even like application of just business things and leadership with your team. Having, going on some trips here and there and kind of seeing your growth. So it's been quite a journey you've been on, Blanca.
Yes, for sure. It's been a busy year. We opened up Athena, the 24/7 facility in January. So, it's been all about growth and learning how to just maneuver through all of this, and switching from being a trainer to going into the CEO position, I think has been the hardest thing that I've done, but it's going great. I'm adapting very well. So
I'm curious, Blanca, when you say it's been the hardest thing, like define that, like as far as what you mean by that.
I think, I look back to when I had my 1,200 square feet studio and how I knew the growth, it was coming on fast and I needed the help, but I was just refusing to trust and I was refusing to let go. And, because I think it honestly was either ego or it was more so control, that I could do everything, myself, and that there was nobody out there that could do it better than I could, because it's my business. I have the vision. But, learning how to let go and trust is something that you kind of talked to me about early on when I joined TRM. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to trust it, prayed about it. And then I think slowly everything started to fall into place. It was more so the team members that came to me, and they actually they were clients of mine. So it was all in-house. They saw the vision that we had, and they still see it to this day. I feel like now they even hold me more accountable than I hold them. So it's awesome to see how I went from, thinking I would never find someone that would fit my vision or see it as big as I do, and now having this team that actually does see that.
When you first began the gym 2 years ago, what was your why behind why you began this women's only gym?
I think that it was all about community. I grew up being an athlete, playing sports, and I think that it wasn't necessarily the love for soccer. I was a soccer player, or the love for fitness. It was more so the love for the community that it would bring. So, I graduated high school, had to turn down a college scholarship to just kind of stay home, help my parents out. And that's when I decided, okay, let me take this journey to see where I go, because I know I like, fitness, but more so, what can I build from this? And so for me, growing up, I loved my friends. Like, I loved having my crew. And I just thought it would be so cool to be able to kind of build a sisterhood. And, it's just such a secure feeling to know that you're not going through something hard alone. And so that's what I wanted to offer for women. And that's whenever, light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, you know what? Why isn't anyone doing all women's gyms? I'm like, let's see what we can do. Let's try it. What's the worst that can happen?
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, before Athena, were you also doing coaching as well before that?
Yes, I was. So I actually started on social media. I started sharing my fitness journey on Instagram, and it actually kind of blew up really fast. I grew my following. Had a lot of supporters. And I actually started I was at TCC, which is a community college here in Texas. But I started off by writing down like workout plans for people for $10, send them a picture. Here you go. Here's your workout for tomorrow. And I was, just kind of studying kinesiology at the community college, just learning everything I needed to learn. But, that's where it started. That's kind of where I was like, okay. But I always knew I had a bigger vision. I always, it was a piece of paper then. And I was like, I know this is all I have right now, but if we just continue to let that, like, it's like a snowball effect, Yeah. Next thing it was, I started to create resistance bands with my logo, barbell pads with my logo. And then eventually it became a really nice website, with demonstration videos, no more papers, no more notebook paper. And I think it was more so for me, the key was the social media presence, because that's where I got most of my support from.
Wow, interesting. So you kind of like leverage social media from there, of course, into your gym. But the thing is, too, is obviously you being in your gym, like where you were in January of this year, now it's 11 months later, is a significant difference. Would you agree?
Right. Yes,
Right.
for sure. It was really scary doing this. I want to say that this was one of those things that, I went back and forth with my fiance. I was like, do you think we can do this? Is this something that, am I running too fast into this? I don't know how to be a gym owner, but I know how to be a trainer. But we're the type of people that we're like, we'll figure it out as we go. So, I know one of our TRM leaders said this once, and it stuck with me about take the opportunity and learn how to do it later. And so I feel like that resonates with me so much. I had no idea how I was going to run this business, because it went from being a very secure spot of, me locking the door when I was there, locking it back when I was leaving. Nobody was in there without my, me actually being there. And so just looking back in January, to what I thought was going to make this work, completely different 11 months later. And we actually started January just a little under, like just at 10K. And now we've tripled that, and we've done it consecutively for, it's going to be 4 months now. So that's awesome.
That's quite incredible. And obviously in the intern from January till now, your team has grown too, correct?
Yes, for sure. So now I have trainers under me, which I thought that was going to be so impossible to do, but now my main focus is teaching them how to do this. And I want them in the future to be in my spot too, to where they get to own their own boutique gyms and they get to venture out. I don't see them just being trainers. I always joke around with my first trainer that I brought on board, Angel, and I told her, I think you're almost ready for me to leave you here so I can go to the next one. So we're definitely seeing how big the vision can go.
What's cool about sharing that, obviously, is 2 years ago you began this gym, learning along ago, of course, with your fiance, and now you're doing these, basically 30K plus months in your business routinely, going to be hitting new barriers, new levels in the beginning of the new year. But now your mindset around team is kind of unique, because I think some coaches think they can do all on their own, which obviously probably is all of us in the beginning, which is normal. When was that switch for you happen, when you realized how important a team was and leveraging that?
I think it was when I met you at that TRM event, honestly, because I saw what you had built too, and then all the other people that were in the room. And, I thought to myself, like, he accomplished this because he has such a big team. He has people, what I always like to think is that we have a bus and everyone has their seat on the bus. And that's what we're all good at. And that's what we all need to focus on. And so for me, I know my seat on the bus and I know what I can do best. But my trainers have other things that they know how to do better than I can. So, that's where that vision came on. I feel like from that event, I really just kind of saw that it was very possible, and very doable for sure with your help. So
I love that. When it comes to systems, Blanca, of course, before we kind of met, were you using anything with systems before we met? I guess maybe some basic software or stuff like that before that?
Yeah, I mean, very basic things. I was, like a booking app where our clients could, have automated payments, booking their
Mm.
classes. But other from that, anything as far as marketing, anything as far as like lead generation, that was non-existent to me for sure.
Got it. So now, of course, you've gone through this process so far in phase, I call this chapter one for the business growth, is you've got systems in place for your business. You've got kind of course, a plan of action with your team and so forth. Now going to systems, how important has that been for you in optimizing your business and growing it?
Yeah, no, for sure. Very important. I don't think we could have had the growth that we have had because the systems have really automated so many things for us that we didn't even know we could automate. And so it's giving me a lot of time to focus on growing my team and being a leader. I was working overtime and getting underpaid, and there was not much, coming back from that. There was not many
Mm.
results. So it was starting to get frustrating, and I felt like I was working in my business and not on it. I feel like I was an employee to my business at the end of the day. And so now I get to kind of step back, let the system do what the system can do, which is a lot. And I get to focus on things that do need to be handled from person to person.
Mm. As you've grown, obviously in this entrepreneurial journey, what do you think, or what have you learned that has been like even two or three, or maybe one main thing that's been pivotal for you into being the entrepreneur that you are now? It's been a couple of years. If you go back 2 years to now, what are some key things that you've learned, Blanca?
I think key things that I've learned is it's all about working as a team. I
Mm.
think that just trusting and being open minded to what also your team members are seeing, not just yourself. Because, like I said, everyone has their own magic that they bring on, and staying open minded to that growth that
Mm.
the team members can bring along was something that was very important to me. And it made me realize that that's how growth happens, and that's how these big businesses happen. If I have the vision that we do have here at Athena, I have to be the best leader that I can be for them. So, I think it was really sad for me when I started to realize that I had to kind of start stepping back from training so much. But I feel like I'm better as a person. I'm better as a leader, as a, soon to be wife. And just in general, it's made me see things from the outside. So, what I could really tell anybody is to trust the process and not be so egoistic on thinking we can do it all. We're obviously great enough that we've built something from the ground up. But I think that learning how to let go and taking advantage of the technology that we have now, for
That's
sure.
beautiful. That's beautiful. Now, if we look at the other side of the coin, okay, look at a challenge or look at a thing that maybe like really taught you a valuable lesson. It could have been a painful lesson in your business, but
Yeah.
if you don't mind being vulnerable and sharing, was there one thing that happened that maybe happened the last couple of years that kind of maybe put you back, or maybe like almost made you realize I shouldn't be doing that, or I learned a very valuable lesson that kind of taught you going forward what not to do?
Yeah, I think for a while I lost track of our intentions.
Mm.
What exactly, why did I do this? Why did I open this gym? I think I started to fixate myself too much on the numbers, and I started to not focus on the client relationships, not connecting as much as I should have been connecting with them, and our core values at the end of the day. I think businesses sometimes lose, they deviate from those core values because they're too focused on the numbers or social media. But at the end of the day, I had to really humble myself and realize that the members and the clients that I had when I was at a public park, they were following me to every single gym that I was hopping around to. So I think for me, it was more so, hey, it's not about the money, it's not about the numbers, it's more so about these relationships with these people and
Mm.
helping them. If we focus on helping people always, everything else will flow naturally.
That's beautiful. I love that. I love that. So now, right now, of course, moving in, of course, of course, you having a relationship, you having a business, you having a team. So, what are some things you've learned in growing a business that still maintains and helps your relationship grow?
I would say, it is very difficult, especially because my fiance is a business owner too. And so it's hard to balance everything out. We're both always go, 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 and always striving for more. But I feel like any relationship, not just with my fiance, but family, friends, I feel like we always have to learn how to disconnect and ground ourselves. It's all about balance and time blocking for sure. That's been a big thing for me. And knowing, it's helping me now because I have a team. So I made sacrifices that I didn't want to make in the past to be as comfortable as I am now. I went on vacation. My team was here. The gym was going. There was trainings going on. Sometimes I still have like pinch me moments where I'm like, I can't believe I'm not even in the same country and we're generating. That's insane to me. So not having to be there and being able to still maintain my relationships, I think it all comes down to those little sacrifices that end up building the correct team and support with the business.
Interesting. Now, with your gym and you as an entrepreneur, what makes you unique and different? Like when it comes to you as a business owner, you as Athena, what makes you guys unique?
So, for us, we stand out a lot for just women only. There is no other gyms, not even big gyms that are all women. There is studios. There is like Pilates, yoga, of course, but a gym where you can come in and work out at any time. There's not really many here. So we wanted to continue to grow that. We want to continue to be different. There's a lot of things that we do here to where we set people up for success the moment they walk in, and we work with everybody. We understand that it is a luxury now to afford fitness services, to afford to take care of your body. So, if we see somebody struggling, we offer to do a free workout plan just to get their foot in the door. We want to be a support system. Sometimes we have women come knock on our office just to sit here and vent and cry about a bad day. So, you don't do that at an LA Fitness. So I feel like that's something unique, again, that connects back to the sisterhood and the community that we have. That's really all I wanted to offer through Athena is more than a gym, is being able to have that support system to women that need it.
Interesting. So if you look at other, fitness coaches, gym owners, even like the females out there that are like, growing their business or wanting to even get their business to grow or get started or just revamp things, like what sort of, from your experience and learning what you've learned so far, what are the most important things you would remind them or tell them to help them get them going in their own businesses?
I would say to stop looking at clients as just numbers, as just a number, as just another, income. I think really getting to understand their pain points and why they need you. I always say that if your business can fix loneliness, you have a great business, because a lot of people are alone, they feel alone, and they just need somebody to be that reassurance of, hey, we don't have to be talking 24/7, but just know that when you're going through something, we're all here for you. We just recently had one of our really sweet clients, her mom's battling cancer, going through chemo. And so all the girls are coming together, trying to put something together for her family. So I think, focus on that, focus on giving and helping, and your business will be successful.
I love that. So in today's talk, you almost talked about other locations. So tell us more about that vision.
So, this is a scary vision for me because, again, it's like we're starting from scratch, learning to trust, to leave the girls here and for me to take on, the next location. But I do see that. I've always seen multiple locations for the gym. I don't just want to settle with this one. However, I think what's been hard is deciding whether to take another random jump or to just make this the best that it can be and then deciding to move forward. I think a lot of business owners, that's where we kind of get stuck, is just figuring out how to make the right choice. But having you guys give me that advice that you give me, it really helps put things into perspective. Not necessarily leading with emotions, but more rational thinking. So I really want to do as many as we can. We get asked all the time for different cities, but I think a big we made it moment would be to open one in another state. That would definitely be a huge goal.
Interesting. More detail of that definitely on a future call there, Blanca.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that.
We got our hands full.
So also when it comes to your business strengths, like when you look at your business owner strengths, what are things you've learned about yourself on what makes you unique as a business owner? So beyond just like your business itself, I mean you as a human being leading other people.
I think it's going to be leading by example, you know, both in business, but also physical. You know, if I am in the best shape of my life, the girls, the clients, the members, they will follow. I think setting certain standards that some people can interpret as being too hard or too serious, but you know, at the end of the day, we've all noticed that we are at our happiest and we are at our most productive when we are just excelling. And, you know, one of our core values are elevate, excel, and empower. And so that's what we try to stick to. So for me personally, I think that when I work on my inner self, that's the only way that I can be better for everyone around me.
I love that. Look at that, guys. Core values, almost like just like that. Like she almost ran them off 3 core values. I love that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Are those core values actually in your gym? Like
Yes. We actually have those. We're putting them on merch and everything. So, you know, people just know that that's us.
Absolutely love that. Beautiful. So to round things off, a couple like random questions. So right now you like traveling, correct?
Correct.
Beautiful. If there were 3 places you'd like to travel to in the next 5 or 10 years, they're like dream locations, just curiosity's sake, where would they be? Besides Grand Canyon, by the way, just so you know.
I know, right? I know that one's coming, so we won't mention it. It's already going to happen. I would say the Maldives for sure. I would love to go there. I would love to go to Italy. And a third one, I would love to go to probably Japan. I think that would be so cool. Yeah.
Interesting.
I have an obsession with like ramen, and so getting to eat it over there would probably be like another big goal for me.
Yeah, ramen, really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. What's your cultural background?
I'm Mexican, so both of my parents are Mexican. Yes, and so I actually lived in Mexico until I was 9 years old. So I am very fluent in Spanish, and sometimes I still struggle with my accent and my words mixing up. But you know, it's honestly helped our business so much. The fact that we can actually help people that do not speak English, they feel so at home when they hear us speak Spanish here.
Good point. You know, that's actually a good point because, of course, you're Spanish, right?
Yes.
Interesting. So you came to the U.S. Like when did you come to the U.S.? How many years ago?
So I was actually I was born here in the U.S., but my dad used to travel for work. So we immediately went back to Mexico whenever you know I was born, and then I went to elementary school over in Mexico. We came over here when I was 8 years old. So I can't tell you the year, honestly. I'm 27 now. But once I came over here, it was very scary because I only knew how to speak Spanish. So I think that I can relate to the women that walk in here and they're like, do you guys speak Spanish? I'm like, yes, because that's all I needed when I was a child. But again, I think that well, my parents told me that they had asked if they wanted to place me in ESL classes, which is where it's like a mix of English and Spanish. And they were like, no, put her in just English because she's going to learn. Like, she has to learn. And I actually did. I want to say 2 months, I was already like putting English sentences together. So,
really?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. So obviously, with you being bilingual for gym and location, do you find a lot of your members are only Spanish or bilingual, or like what's the mix?
Well, definitely, we do have a lot of Hispanic members, but it has been, you know, growing to everybody really. But we've noticed that whenever we do have Spanish speaking only people coming here, they usually are just looking for somebody that can work with them in Spanish. You know, they either came from another gym that they're like, well, I wanted to get a trainer, but they don't speak Spanish. So, you know, we found you on Google. And so that always makes us feel warm for sure.
Love it. I love it. As we run this, of course, author Blanca, I'd love for you to share any additional maybe thought or lesson you'd like to share with the audience before we kind of round our off today?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think one of the things for entrepreneurs and business owners is that we can always have really good months and we can always have really bad months and still be a great business. I used to let it really affect and get me down whenever we either wouldn't hit our goals or it was just very slow. But it's all about looking at the big picture. And if you're already putting those domino pieces in place, it's all going to work out. Stay confident and stay truthful to your core values, to why you started the business in the first place. And, just trusting the process. It's going to take some hard work, some patience, but overall, don't let those small things bring you down. Focus on the wins. Focus on the wins, what you're surrounded with, and how far you've already come.
That's awesome, Blanca. And side note, guys, you'll definitely see her face more frequently over the years to come in TRM. She'll be one of our success stories as we keep progressing, because I've seen her and what she's done the last 6 months in her business, which has been phenomenal. I'm looking forward to seeing the next year or two. It's going to be amazing, Blanca.
Yes, I'm so excited. I can't wait. Thank you, Matthew.
Always a pleasure. So, guys, where can they follow you, Blanca? What is it? I'm sorry. Where can they follow you?
Oh, so you can follow me on Instagram personally. It's going to be Blanquita is what I go off as. But you can do Blanquita with 3A17 on Instagram. And same thing for TikTok. And our gym Instagram will be Athena Fit Club. So you guys should go check us out. Go look at how amazing this place is. I know boys want to join all the time, but we always have to turn them down. But maybe one day we'll open our doors to the boys.
Maybe almost like a men's only.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Miguel's getting really inspired to do his own club too now. So. Oh,
here comes Miguel coming in for the Human event. It's like, Matt, I wanted to have this little vision, man. Of this franchise.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I'm like, go for it. The world is ours.
I love it. Blanca, always a pleasure, champ. Looking forward, of course, seeing you grow. Guys, check her out online, and we'll keep these episodes going, guys, for you guys. So until next time, I'm Mathew Park. This is Blanca. Have an amazing day.
Bye. Thank y'all.
Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. I know how hard it can be and tough it can be when you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or even burnt out in growing your business. I have been there, so I can relate. So before you wrap up, I want to offer you something special, free of charge, as my gift to you. It's our TRM Business Assessment. If you go to trainerrevenuemultiplier.com, you can get a copy of that. There's a link on the homepage to grab that assessment. This will give you clarity you need to see where your company is at right now, the bottlenecks you're facing or where you're possibly stuck in the business, and what steps you can take to move forward to grow it to the next level. And if you want to go one step further, we can book a call together and I can personally go over your results with you and give you a roadmap you can move forward with to grow to the next level. Head over to the website. Let's get some clarity together. I look forward to speaking to you soon, and I wish you an amazing day. Take care. Let's keep rocking.